The internet turned Stoicism into a meme. Cold showers, Sigma male grindsets, stone-faced quotes on black backgrounds. That's not what Marcus Aurelius taught. The Stoics didn't teach you to feel nothing. They taught you to choose your response to everything. There's a massive difference, and that difference is the reason why most founders who say that they study Stoicism are still anxious, still reactive, and still building businesses that mirror their own unprocessed chaos. I'm Jim Artman. Today, my co-founder Chris Coll and I are breaking down the 4 levels of Stoic character development that most people never reach, and showing you why each one of them directly determines what happens in your health, your business, your relationships, and every opportunity sitting in front of you right now.
Okay, so level 1 is wisdom. And if you get this wrong, nothing else we talk about today actually matters. The Stoics believed that wisdom starts with one skill, the ability to divide everything in your life into 3 major categories: good, bad, and indifferent. And here's where it gets uncomfortable for founders and high achievers. Money? Indifferent. Recognition? Indifferent. Physical fitness? Indifferent. Not unimportant? Indifferent. Meaning those things can be used for good or for evil. Money in the hands of a generous person builds communities. Money in the hands of a greedy one destroys them. The thing itself is neutral. What makes it good or bad is your character, the virtue behind the decision. In psychology, there's a framework called locus of control, developed by Julian Rotter in 1954. It describes whether you believe the events in your life are driven by your own decisions, internal locus, or by fate, luck, and other people, external locus. The data is clear though. People with a strong internal locus of control tend to be high achievers, more resilient under stress, and better decision makers. But here's the catch, and Jim and I see this consistently in the founders we coach. Internal locus of control without competence leads to anxiety. You believe you're in charge of everything, but you don't have the skills to back it up. That gap between belief and ability, that's where depression and burnout live. That's why the Stoics paired control with wisdom. You need to know what you can influence and have the skill to actually influence it. That combination, internal locus plus competence, is the foundation of the H.E.R.O framework. You can't build economic resilience if you're blaming the market for everything. But you can't build it if you're delusional about your own abilities. This is economics. H.E.R.O domain number 2, and it starts right here. Epictetus said it plainly. Your job is to identify what's actually under your control and what isn't. Then direct every ounce of energy toward the things you control and let go of the rest. Here's the challenge for you today. Take one problem you're stressed out about and split it on a paper. What can I control and what can I not control? Then cross out the second column. That's your action plan. You can even put it like on a big whiteboard or post it like I have here and just put, those 2 columns. That's your homework for tonight.
All right, level 2 is courage. And this is the one that hits closest to home for me. Most people hear courage and think about fearlessness or just not having fear, being bulletproof, but that's not courage. It's either lying or brain damage. Courage is right action despite fear. It's doing the thing when every part of your nervous system is screaming at you to run. When I was in the regiment, we had a simple understanding. Everybody is going to get scared at some point. The question is, what are you going to do next? Do you freeze? Do you run? Or do you push into that breach anyways? I also served as a sniper and later sniper school instructor at Fort Benning. You think us instructors teaching school don't feel fear? Of course we do. But we've learned what to do with it, how to channel it. And what I've learned both downrange and in the years since getting out is that the deepest form of courage is not physical, it's emotional. It's the willingness to be vulnerable when everything in your conditioning is telling you to armor up. Transitioning out of the military definitely taught me that. When the structure was gone, the tribe was gone, purpose was gone, and I was left with the things that I'd been outrunning my entire life. Choosing to face that instead of numbing it was harder than any deployment I ever went on. Seneca wrote about this 2,000 years ago. He said, "There's no virtue in enduring what you don't feel. So if you feel numb, you're not being tough, you're disconnected." Real courage means you feel the fear, the grief, the uncertainty, and you move through it anyways.
And we got to a place where it wasn't scary, even when things went wrong. So this nerve control, this comes from training. That's why police officers can be cool under pressure, or special forces, or an athlete can hit a shot when everyone's screaming at them because they've practiced this thousands of times. They've exposed themselves to it thousands of times. I think also this knowledge allows us to not be intimidated even by things that are new to us. I tell the story of Pericles in the Peloponnesian War. He is casting off with the Athenian navy, and an eclipse blacks out the sun. And this might not seem scary to us now because we know what an eclipse is, but in ancient Greece they did not. And so the men are terrified. But thinking fast, Pericles says, well, look, if I put a cloak over your face, would you be scared? And the man says, no. And he says, well, what does it matter? What causes the darkness? Darkness itself is not scary.
That reframe Holiday talks about, perception as the first discipline, that's pure Stoicism. You can't change the obstacle, but you can change how you perceive it. Your ability to face life's challenges with grit and determination largely depends on the way that you view the situation and yourself in it. Here's where this connects to your relationships. Hero domain number 3. If you can't be vulnerable with the people closest to you, your partner, for example, your co-founder, your team, those relationships will stay surface level forever. You'll have business partners, but not real trust. You'll have a spouse, but no real intimacy. Selecting for the ability to remain vulnerable, even when it's scary, is a significant step in your personal growth that will impact every aspect of your life. Courage isn't just for the battlefield, it's for the boardroom, the living room, and absolutely the mirror. Your dare this week, have one honest conversation that you've been avoiding. Say the thing, feel that discomfort. That is the forge doing its work.
Level 3 is all about temperance. And in some ways, this is actually the hardest virtue because literally everything around you is engineered to make you fail at it. Temperance is moderation. It's self-discipline. It's the ability to say, I have enough in a world that profits from you believing you never actually do. Think about how much noise is designed to keep you wanting more. More followers, more revenue, more stuff, more money in general, more stimulation. The entire economy runs on manufactured dissatisfaction. Seneca nailed this 2,000 years ago. Until we go out without certain things, we don't realize how unnecessary most of them are. We use them not because we need them, but because we have them. From a business perspective, temperance is the founder who doesn't chase every shiny object. It's the operator who says no to the deal that doesn't align with the mission, even though the money looks good. It's financial discipline. The economics domain or earnings domain in H.E.R.O, and honestly, it's the reason most businesses fail, not from lack of opportunity, from lack of restraint.
The 10-year anniversary coming up, the publisher asked if there was anything I wanted to do. And I said, why don't we just do like a whole updated edition? And they were excited about that. Also because 10 years ago was long enough that audiobook rights were very different. And they kind of sold the audiobook rights for a few pennies to Tim Ferriss. And he's the reason the book blew up. But then those rights reverted back to the publisher. And there was a thing about, do I have to re-record it? Do they buy the old audio from him? There's a bunch of stuff swirling around about like why, or that it would be nice to get another crack at it. And on all my books, I keep researching even after I stop writing. And so I had also just a big stack of note cards of like things that in some cases proved the ideas I was talking about more, just additional examples, additional stories, and had this weird experience of like, it's almost like exhuming a corpse or something. Like all of a sudden this thing is in front of you, and it's in some cases aged well, in other cases not aged well.
Holiday on how Marcus Aurelius governed himself before he governed Rome. That's a thorough line. You govern yourself first, your impulses, your desires, your reactions. Then, only then, are you qualified to lead anything or anyone else. Marcus Aurelius wrote that if you ever find anything better than justice, prudence, self-control, and courage, if you find something more valuable than a mind that's broken, free of physical temptations, then embrace it. But he was essentially saying you won't, because nothing outranks mastery of yourself. You know, this connects directly to your health in the H.E.R.O domain. Number 1, sleep discipline, nutritional discipline, the ability to fast from information, from stimulation, from the constant need to be producing. That's temperance in action. Detaching from distractions, making the most of your productive hours instead of scattering your energy across things that don't move the needle. Ryan Holiday talks about the practice of detachment, removing yourself from the problem, pretending you're advising someone else. What would you tell them to cut? What would you tell them is noise? So your challenge for this one is identify one area of excess in your life this week. One thing you're consuming, content, food, alcohol, spending, that you know is more than you need. Cut it in half. Not forever, just this week. See what happens when you practice just enough.
All right, so level 4 is justice. And this is the one that the self-improvement world really almost never talks about. But I'm not talking about courtroom justice. I'm talking about Stoic justice. Your duty to other people and your community. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most powerful men in the known world at the time, wrote in his private journal that justice meant thought and action resulting in the common good. Not his own good, not Rome's good, the common good. So this is where modern grind culture really goes completely sideways, because it's always about you or your goals, your routine, your brand, your empire that you're building. There's nothing wrong with ambition, but ambition without justice, without service, is just ego service with a business plan. And I'll tell you something that I feel deep in my bones. When Hurricane Helene devastated Western North Carolina a couple years ago, my wife and I started Resilient Recovery in North Carolina. Chris, my business partner, came on as VP, and we weren't thinking about branding. We were thinking about helping families that were trapped without water, without roads, and without homes. We secured a 50,000 square foot warehouse to distribute relief aid, bought heavy machinery, did debris cleanup. And one community member told us Resilient Recovery in North Carolina helped kickstart us back to recovery, not only physically, but emotionally and spiritually. Now that wasn't a marketing play, that was duty. That was justice in the Stoic sense. So many folks said that their faith in humanity had been restored as they witnessed the repeated acts of kindness from complete strangers who wanted absolutely nothing in return. So here's what I'm trying to get you to hear. The relationships and opportunities that came of that work, we could not have planned them. And when you serve without an agenda, the right people are going to find you. The right doors will open. That's the opportunities domain in our H.E.R.O framework. And the ones that come from genuine service are deeper, stickier, and more aligned than anything that you could hustle your way into. Seneca wrote that if we don't celebrate the advancement of others as our own, virtue will no longer endure in us. Your character deteriorates the moment that you stop caring about other people's wins. So your dare, do something for somebody else this week with zero expectation of anything in return. No post about it, no mention of it, just serve. And pay attention to what that does inside of you.
So here it is, 4 Stoic virtues, 4 levels of character. Wisdom, know what you control. Direct your energy there. Let go of the rest. Courage, feel the fear, move through it. Be vulnerable enough to be real and authentic. Your true self. And then temperance, master your impulses, practice enough. Govern yourself before you try to govern anything else in your life. And then justice, serve your people, serve your team. Celebrate their wins, build something bigger than your own ego. The Stoics called virtue the highest good. Not wealth, not status, not comfort, character. The person you become when everything gets stripped away. Every situation you face, every setback, every loss, every failure, every hard conversation, it's not punishment, it's the forge, it's the fire that shapes you into someone who can actually handle what's coming next in your life. And this is the thesis I want burned into your brain before you click off this video. Your life will never outperform the operator behind it. And the operator is forged, not born. We work with a lot of people that are in high stress environments too, not just founders. If this conversation lit something up, if you heard one of those 4 virtues and immediately knew that's where I'm weak, then that's the work calling you. The H.E.R.O transformation is a 90-day system that takes everything we talked about today, health, economics or earnings, relationships, and opportunities, and gives you a structure to actually live it. Not just think about it, live it. Jim and I built this program because we've both seen what happens when founders and high performers try to outperform their own character. They burn out, they blow up relationships, they leave money on the table because they can't get out of their own way. My name is Chris Coll, I'm the co-founder of Extreme Resilience and the co-author of Founder H.E.R.O. Like this video, subscribe, drop a comment telling us which of the 4 virtues you need to work on most in your life. Is it wisdom? Is it courage? Is it justice? Or maybe it's temperance? Let us know. Take care.
I'm Jim Artman, Army Ranger from 75th Ranger Regiment, a sniper school instructor at Fort Benning, functional medicine health coach, co-founder of Extreme Resilience, and president of Resilient Recovery North Carolina. Link to the Hero Transformation Program is in the description. If you're a founder or veteran who's done outsourcing your character, apply now. Own your purpose, and we'll see you in the next one.